A person's life is shaped by the way they think. This timeless truth has changed ordinary people into legends, from a man who had nothing to those who built empires with only an idea. Great minds like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos all began with one simple belief, that their thoughts could shape reality. As James Allen once wrote in As a Man Thinketh, the mind is the master power that molds. But if that's true, why do so many remain stuck in the same place? Why do dreams fade even when the desire is strong? Today's story will reveal the hidden reason behind it and teach you how a single shift in mindset can change your entire life. Stay till the end. It'll be worth your time.
Once in a crowded railway station, there lived a beggar named Ravi. Every morning he took his place near the benches, shaking his old tin cup as passengers hurried past. Some dropped a coin. Most didn't even look at him. That was his life, a quiet struggle for survival. One humid afternoon, as Ravi begged near platform number 5, a train arrived, carrying a well-dressed man in a crisp black suit. His watch gleamed, his shoes shined, and his presence alone demanded attention. Seeing him, Ravi's eyes lit up. This man must be wealthy, he thought. If I ask him, he'll surely give me something generous. Ravi stepped forward and stretched out his trembling hand. But instead of reaching for his wallet, the man looked straight into Ravi's eyes and asked calmly, "Do you always live by taking from others? Have you ever tried giving?" The beggar froze. He had expected rejection, not a question. "Sir," he stammered, "I have nothing to give. I'm just a poor beggar." The man smiled faintly. "If you believe you have nothing to give, then that belief will keep you empty forever. The world gives only to those who first learn to give." And before Ravi could reply, the man stepped onto his train. As the wheels turned and smoke rose, those words echoed inside him like a bell he could not silence. That night, Ravi couldn't sleep. The question wouldn't leave his mind. Have I ever given anything? He had begged for years, accepted countless coins, but never once thought about offering something in return. The stranger wasn't rude. He was right. For the first time, Ravi began to see himself not as helpless, but as someone who had chosen helplessness. Maybe poverty wasn't only about empty pockets. Maybe it began with an empty mind. 2 days passed in silence. He didn't beg. He just sat on the platform thinking. Trains came and went. Passengers rushed by. Yet his eyes were fixed on the horizon, searching for an answer that felt close but unseen. On the third morning, while sitting near the tracks, he noticed a patch of bright marigolds blooming wildly between the stones. Their golden petals danced in the breeze. Something shifted inside him. If I can't give money, maybe I can give joy. He plucked a few flowers, arranged them neatly, and when someone dropped a coin, he smiled and handed one over. The traveler looked surprised, then smiled back. It was the first time Ravi had seen genuine happiness in someone's face because of him. That small act changed something within. For the first time, Ravi didn't feel like a beggar. He felt human and capable of more. In the following weeks, Ravi continued his new ritual. For every coin he received, he offered a flower in return. Slowly, the passengers began to notice him, not as a beggar, but as the flower man of Platform 5. People started coming just to see his radiant smile and take a flower before boarding their train. Some even gave him extra money and said, "Keep the change. Your flowers make my morning better." For the first time in years, Ravi earned not from pity, but from purpose. One day, as he handed a flower to a lady, he looked down and realized his tin cup was nearly full. This is what the man meant, he thought. When you give, you open the door to receive. Later that week, while the sun burned the rails silver, Ravi saw the same businessman again. Excited, he rushed over and said, "Sir, I have something to give this time." He handed him a small bunch of flowers. The businessman smiled warmly and said, "You've understood it well. You are no longer a beggar, you're a giver, a businessman in spirit." As the train pulled away, Ravi stood quietly. Something deep inside him shifted, not just his situation, but his identity. Months passed. Ravi no longer begged. He began collecting and selling flowers from the nearby fields. Soon, he started buying fresh ones from local farmers. His little act of exchange had grown into a real business. Every morning, he filled baskets with color and fragrance and sold them at stations across the city. 6 months later, a familiar train arrived. A man in a dark suit stepped down, the same businessman. Ravi, now dressed neatly, greeted him with confidence. "Do I know you?" the man asked. Ravi smiled. "Yes, sir. I was the beggar who once offered you flowers." The man's eyes widened. "You? What happened?" Ravi replied. "You taught me something that day, that nothing changes until the mind does. I stopped seeing myself as a beggar and started thinking like a giver. The world didn't change, I did." The businessman shook his hand, proud and humbled. As their train whistles sounded, both men walked in different directions. One toward his company, the other toward his blooming flower shop. But now, they stood as equals in spirit. Ravi had finally learned the greatest truth. When your mindset changes, your life follows. Your life will always move in the direction of your thoughts. If you see yourself as helpless, the world will agree. But if you believe you are capable, life will begin to open its doors. Every change starts within. The beggar became a businessman not only by luck, but by shifting his mindset. So stop doubting your worth. See yourself as strong, worthy, and unstoppable. Because when your mind transforms, everything around you transforms too.